Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What You Did Not Know. I'm your host, Marcus Bethay, here with our lead acupuncturist, Dr. Orman.
Hello?
And today we're going to touch a topic where it talks about our Heart Awareness Month here, being that it's the month of Valentine's Day. We're going to let you know how our services here at C3 Wellness can help with heart issues, how we kind of help you stay healthy, what we do to provide that level of care. And I'm going to let Dr. Orman take it away from here.
The heart in natural medicine is considered the emperor, the king of everything. And I think it's the only organ that we've incorporated it into our vocabulary. He wears his heart on his sleeve. She has a big heart. If you said she wears her gallbladder on her sleeve, just doesn't fit. You know what I mean?
True.
And so the heart has a lot of value. The heart has, of course, it's most well known for circulation, improving, pumping the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it's the left side of the heart that pulls the blood, the used blood, so to speak, to the lungs to oxygenate it, and then the right side of the heart basically circulates it throughout the whole body. And here's a question for you.
Okay, shoot.
If you put all the blood vessels together, how long are they?
I would say about 300 feet.
Yeah. You ready? You may want to sit down for this one.
All right.
60,000 miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it literally could go around the earth twice. My guess, I never met anybody who didn't know that, who was close.
In one body?
In one body,
oh, wow.
yes. And that's quite remarkable.
Yeah.
And so some of the blood vessels are literally as thin as a strand of hair, and others, of course, the aorta, for example, is quite large.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, in natural medicine, we take a couple of approaches to it. We look at the heart as having four what we call backup systems. So think of a chair where the seat is the heart and the backup systems help support it.
Mm-hmm.
So the backup systems are part of the brain called the cerebellum, which is the battery pack of the brain.
Okay.
The thyroid, everybody knows thyroid. Adrenal glands, they're the two walnut-shaped glands, sit on the apex of the kidneys. Fight or flight, most people know that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the part of the blood called the hemoglobin, which is what oxygenates the blood. The hemoglobin is also considered the, it's like the personality of the blood. And so when hemoglobin levels are low, it affects a person's personality. Okay. Whereas other markers of the blood, if they're low, it'll affect their energy, but not necessarily a personality. In any event, when one or a combination of those four get weaker, and I'm purposely choosing the word weaker to distinguish it from disease, the heart then has to work 2, 3, 4 times as hard as it normally would, which it can do. But over a period of time, I'm so tired and I don't know why, or somebody is living in my body and it doesn't feel like me, or how do you spell cat again? Normally a person as sharp as a tack. They'll often describe things as not necessarily, it could be depression or just a case of the blues. Yeah, I'm okay. Maybe that gray area. Just don't know. I don't feel motivated. Don't feel badly, but forgetfulness, brain fog is a common one.
That's associated with the heart?
Very much so.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It could be other factors as well, but the heart is generally in the top 2.
Okay.
You'll find other things, that dryness of the skin, dryness of the eye, dryness overall.
Okay.
And of course, you'll find tachycardia, rapid heart rate, or else bradycardia, slow heart rate. And it's enough to this is making me uncomfortable, but not freaking out kind of thing. Often panic attacks, anxiety attacks are associated with it as well.
Oh, wow.
So most of the time when you treat, and then a person will go to a cardiologist, ran the full battery of tests, all is right with the world, then, and that is very common. Well, that's normal. What's going on here? Right. And you usually look to the 4 backups. And so you strengthen one or like I mentioned, a combination of those, and all of a sudden, all is right with the world. The heart doesn't have to work as hard as it normally would. And so a person's back to normal. Okay. The body's, I'm really, really glad I wasn't in charge of building the body. Sometimes when there is a heart issue, it will be reflected in back problems.
Interesting.
Why? Well, if there's a heart weakness and I'm going to go roll up my sleeves and do 6 hours of work in the backyard, that's not going to end well. But when the back is a problem and now I can't move,
Oh, wow.
it's the body protecting itself.
Interesting. What about off topic real quick, people that have heart murmurs, such as myself? How does that play a part in the overall health of the heart and things of that sort?
When that happens, you would look to improving circulation. So as I mentioned, a speck of plaque can clog some of the blood vessels. And so there are substances, there are mainly enzymes, which help to flush out. They pull out what's called ionized calcium. Ionized calcium is not the good calcium in the bones. It is the structure of the structure of plaque. Think of it as the foundation or the outline of a house minus the siding and roof and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So what it does is pull that into solution into the blood and then out through the kidneys, etc.
Interesting.
And that would be a huge help. The good news, the really good news, is that there are fantastic substances which can help with that, which will strengthen the heart.
Okay.
Kind of indirectly.
All right. Let's talk about how our services here help with heart health and what we do here at C3 Wellness to help our clients here with that.
Well, the physical portion of the heart, there are specific points along their pathways called meridians. And with the heart, there are 3 of them. One of them goes down the arm, so we can treat physical problems mainly at points down the arm. Particularly if there are 4 points. I don't know if we could see it on here. So this is about maybe 2 inches by the pinky. And so there are 4 major points there which help the heart. There's also a pathway that goes down into the small intestines. So you've probably heard people who, I thought I had heart issues, but it was digestive issues. That can be addressed also. And then the last one goes to the tongue. So people who stutter, people who say things like, I wanted to say something, but I just couldn't, or I couldn't find the right words. That would be helpful by strengthening the heart with the needles, with various types of herbs, massaging along the pathway. So when you go along with the pathway, with the flow, so to speak, or with the meridian, that also strengthens the heart as well. And then we don't have time to touch on this, but there is a gigantic other than physical, emotional, mental component of the heart, which we've all undoubtedly, if you're over the age of 20, you probably experienced it. Heartbreak, for example.
Yes.
And each organ has, think of it as a coin, at least the 2 sides of the coin. So heart is joy, heart is happiness, and then the flip side of it is sorrow. So we can help address those emotions as well through the methods that we have here.
Okay. What if you're heartless? Because a lot of people tell me that I don't have a heart. So what if you don't have a heart? How does that play a part into?
Well, obviously that's metaphorical. I hope it's metaphorical. There are people who they normally, because of a particular trauma and because of fear, that have basically caused what's known as a disassociation. So you have seen something that the human spirit is not meant to see. And so you become almost shut off, so to speak, from the neck below. And when you ask, how are you feeling? Let me think about it. Or I'm going to guess it's this. And so they immediately go to cerebral because it hurts too much there. And we can also help connect that physical with the emotional in a very gentle way that doesn't, psychology goes lay on a couch and tell me about your childhood for 10 years, and then we'll get to you already lived through it once.
True.
You don't need to do it again, but you lived through it. Imagine all the great stuff, the empowerment that you got by living through something that maybe most people can't. And so there's so much value in that. And so we do our best to extract the value, have the person extract the value while not having to re-experience the trauma.
Okay. Well, that's great information. We're going to wrap it up with that talk. Thank you for visiting us on What You Did Not Know. Again, I'm your host, Marcus Bethay, here with our lead acupuncturist, Dr. Orman, talking to you about heart health, ladies and gentlemen. Come in and let us take care of that heart. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Till next time.